started with a single maintenance report. On February 4, 2021, building management at the Halcyon Towers, a sleek residential skyscraper in downtown Chicago, received complaints about footsteps between floors. The issue? The sound was coming from between 12 and 14, a space that, on paper, didn't exist. Security footage from the elevator showed tenant Lena Markham, 27, entering alone at 9:42 p.m. She pressed 12, then hesitated. Her finger hovered, then drifted to an unmarked gap between buttons. The lights flickered. The elevator descended briefly, then the panel flashed 13, even though there was no 13th floor. She never came out. The next morning, a delivery driver found her apartment door wide open. Her phone lay charging on the counter, still playing soft music. The last text she sent read, "I can hear someone humming in the vents again. It sounds like a woman." Detective Marco Alvarez, head of missing persons, had seen hundreds of disappearances, but this one was different. The building's blueprints were clean, 52 floors, no 13th. The elevator manufacturer confirmed there was no wiring or code for that number. Yet on the system log, level 13 appeared 6 separate times between 9:40 p.m. and 10:05 p.m., the exact window when Lena vanished. Residents whispered that the Halcyon had been cursed from the start. The land it stood on had once held an older complex, the Morrow Apartments, demolished after a deadly fire in 1989. 13 people died, all trapped between floors as the elevator cables burned. The construction company promised to omit floor 13 in memory of the victims. But when the tower opened, workers began reporting strange anomalies, doors opening onto bare concrete shafts and lights flickering in sequence like Mo. Detective Marco Alvarez didn't believe in curses. He believed in facts, evidence, and floor plans. But the deeper he dug into the Halcyon Towers, the less sense anything made. By March, 5 residents had vanished. The building's developer, Langridge Urban, blamed social media hysteria, a viral TikTok challenge about the haunted elevator. Still, Alvarez noticed a pattern. All the victims lived in the East Wing, facing the river. All reported faint heat distortion in their mirrors before they disappeared, as though someone was standing behind them. He pulled the maintenance records again. There it was, hidden in the archived schematics from 2017, a sub-level between 12 and 14, labeled Service Cavity B13. It wasn't meant for human access. A narrow crawl space with unfinished concrete, sealed off before construction completed. But on the blueprint's electrical layer, there was something worse, a power line rerouted through the cavity just 1 month before the disappearances began. Who authorized that change? Alvarez asked. The site engineer's signature read E. Halpern, but Halpern had died 3 years earlier. Maybe the system glitched, the city clerk said, tapping her keyboard nervously. Alvarez nodded slowly. Yeah, maybe. That night he returned to the Halcyon alone. The lobby lights hummed faintly, the air thick with ozone. The night guard, Hector, refused to stay near the elevators anymore. It's not electrical, he whispered. It's them, the 13. At 9:36 p.m., Alvarez stepped inside. He carried a handheld radio, flashlight, and thermal scanner from forensics. The elevator smelled of metal and faint perfume. The panel gleamed with its usual layout, 1 to 52, but there, between 12 and 14, the faintest indentation. A missing button, once exy. If this story ever disappears from YouTube, you'll know why. Hit subscribe before it does. Detective Marco Alvarez woke on the floor of the elevator, his flashlight still clutched in his hand. His wristwatch said 10:03 p.m., though he'd entered the building an hour earlier. The radio was dead, its antenna bent. The only light came from the emergency strip along the ceiling, pulsing faintly, like a heartbeat. He stood slowly, scanning the walls. The metal looked warped, uneven. He pressed the door open button, but the panel sparked, and for half a second the number 13 flared red again. The doors creaked apart, but it wasn't the lobby. Not even close. He was looking into a mirror of the same elevator, only older. The panels were cracked, wallpaper peeling like burnt skin. Water dripped from the ceiling. He stepped forward cautiously, 1 foot into the reflection. The air turned colder. He could smell smoke and something faintly sweet, like singed perfume. Then, from the darkness ahead, a voice whispered his name. Marco. He froze. A woman stepped out of the shadows. Lena Markham. Her eyes were open, pupils dilated, movements slow and trembling. Her clothes were soaked, hair plastered to her face. But her expression wasn't rage or confusion, it was terror. They said we'd be safe here, she whispered, but there's no up or down, only between. Behind her, more figures appeared. Anthony Wu, the others, their bodies faintly transparent, like smoke in the shape of people. Each one held a small elevator key, identical to the one the porcelain doll had clutched. Marco tried to back away, but his foot struck something solid. He looked down. The doll. It was on the elevator floor again, staring up at him. A faint hum began, growing louder, the same eerie melody recorded in every victim's last audio clip. He turned toward the hallway, but it was gone. The world outside the elevator had folded into darkness. The control panel blinked through random numbers. 4, 7, 13. Then the walls began to close in. The figures stepped forward, surrounding him. Their mouths moved together, whispering in unison. Someone has to stay. The 13th tenant. The building must have 13. Marco grabbed his badge, shouting into the radio even though it was dead. This is Detective Alvarez, Halcyon Towers, sublevel. The sound cut off as something cold wrapped around his wrist, Lena's hand. Her skin left frost on his arm. She looked at him with pleading eyes. Don't fight it, she said. If you fight, it takes longer. The elevator lights exploded. When he woke, sunlight poured through the windows of the Halcyon lobby. Paramedics and officers crowded around him. His radio worked again. The building manager said they'd found him unconscious in the maintenance lift. No floor 13, no passage, no bodies. But his thermal scanner told a different story. It still recorded one last image, a heat signature, 12 figures standing behind him, one hand each on the elevator door. And his badge, when returned to evidence lockup, had been etched with a message across the back. Green stays. A month later, new tenants moved into the Halcyon. The elevator worked fine, until one evening, a resident filmed something strange. The panel lit up briefly between 12 and 14. The number 13 flickered to life, glowing faintly red. Then a man's reflection appeared in the mirror, police badge on his chest, staring straight into the camera. The elevator door closed, and the humming started again. If you think this story was intense, you're not ready for the next one. Subscribe now before midnight, because after that,